Welcome to Study with Street Science, where we unbox a science toy in under 30 minutes. What is it going to be? I don't even know, but let's get into it. Before we do though, I've got Science Simone here. She helps us out with different questions. We've also got Tia behind the camera, who is our producer. And she's the one that always gives us our science toy for the week. So should we suss out what it is? What is it going to be? What do you think it's going to be? Let's find out. In the Street Science box. Here we go. Today's toy is going to be, drum roll please. Whoa, it's going to be the Flip Robot. I don't even know what a Flip Robot is, but let's dive in and have a look. Now, with Study with Street Science, we encourage you, if you're doing some study, doing some assignments, chuck on some tunes, listen to the tunes that we've got, put us in the background, and let's do some activities together. All right, what is the Flip Robot about? Let's have a look. Ooh, what do we got? I'm gonna put this over here. The Flip Robot says, uses bionics to imitate the walking principle of an orangutan. Orangutan or orangutan? Tia, how do you pronounce orangutan?
Orangutan?
Orangutan? I don't.
Orangutan? Yeah.
It's got no G on it, so it's an orangutan. Orangutan.
Oh gosh.
I don't know, but apparently this robot is going to help us do that. So, let's bust out all the toys. Maybe while we start unboxing all these different things, Tia, maybe you could sort of get some reference material of how an orangutan actually walks, so we can actually see what this toy is trying to represent.
Sure thing.
So I'm going to bust out all these different bits here, see what we have. Oh, we got some interesting little bits today. I'm going to put this under here, bust these ones out. I don't even know what this thing's for. Look at that. What do you reckon that thing does? I think that's actually the mechanical unit that does the flipping. Is that the flippy unit? I don't know. Is that a proper science term? Flippy unit. We've got a yellow button here. Ooh, hear that? Yeah. Hear that crisp sound. Get some ASMR happening here. Is that turning you on, ASMR champions? I don't know. I don't even know what I'm going on about. I'm going to put this up here today. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, I think we're about ready to begin. But, however, it's been an interesting week this week. You might have realized that in last week's episode, we celebrated the Nobel Prize announcements. Well, we've had our Australian equivalent just this week. That's right, we had the Australian Prime Minister's Prize for Science, which I think is pretty cool. So I thought maybe we could review some of the winners of this year's cohort and explore what sort of science they do. So, drum roll, we have 7 different categories, and I think there's one sort of overarching winner who is labelled the Prime Minister's Prize for Science. So, drum roll, who's it going to be? Does anyone know? I don't know. It's going to be this year's 2023 Prime Minister's Prize for Science goes to Professor Michelle Simmons. Woo! Cool. Professor Simmons, what did she do? Why was she awarded this year's big grand prize? Well, she is recognised for creating the new field of atomic electronics, and her discoveries are powering a transition from the digital to the quantum age. I know we talked a little bit about quantum stuff was that last episode or a couple episodes before? But what's cool is that she founded Australia's first quantum computing company called Silicon Quantum Computing. And it's the only company in the world that manufactures with atomic precision. And she's also part of the global race to create the world's first error-corrected quantum computer here in Australia. And I know what you're thinking, because I'm probably thinking the same thing too, which is, what is quantum computing? So quantum computing is predicted to solve certain extremely complex problems in seconds that would otherwise take thousands of years. So it's basically taking what our current computing level is and then putting it on crazy next level technology performance. And as not surprisingly, that would have a massive impact in a wide variety of different fields, which includes therapeutic drug design, optimizing route planning delivery or logistical systems, making your Ubers better, or creating better fertilizers, which I think is pretty cool. All right, let's get into this. I did forget to ask if Tia had started the clock. Tia, did we start the clock?
Yes.
Because remember,
Yes,
we have 30 minutes to try and build this toy.
Mm-hmm.
Tia, have we ever not made a toy work?
No.
We've always made it work. All right. All right, so it says to do that, and then assemble the top board, which goes on top, so that goes on here. That clicks on pretty good, and then paste the switch, which must be this one. Nice click to that on top. So I think what we're wanting is the little silver bits to pop out on the sides. So let's announce another prize. How about we go for the Prime Minister's Prize for Innovation, which this year goes to Professor Glenn King from the University of Queensland. And he's being recognised for pioneering using peptides from Australian funnel web spider venom for sustainable crop protection and potential human therapeutics. Now, I actually have met Professor Glenn King. In fact, we did a TEDx UQ back in the day, I think in 2019. So I got to hear about his science at that event, which is pretty cool. So Professor King has also founded a company called Vestaron, which develops safe and eco-friendly insecticides for farmers. And this has instigated a revolution in crop protection, helping address global food challenges, which is obviously something that's really important. He's also now the Chief Scientific Officer for Infenza Bioscience, and this is where he's using the spider web venom for therapeutics, mainly used to help strokes and treating heart attacks. And they're planning to do some of their first clinical trials next year, which is pretty cool. He's also had a lot of impact both in Australia and abroad, and Vestaron is currently selling their insecticide products, while Infenza is creating a lot of new jobs and research opportunities for the next generations of scientists. So that's good news, I think, for the audience here, because all of us are the next generation of scientific problem solvers. That's what I think. Cool, all right, step number 3, okay, on this toy. We've pasted on the switch. It says it wants us now to paste the battery case on the motor. So that must be this one. And I assume it doesn't matter which way it gets pasted on, but it does say the red cable pointing to the top. So let's plug this one over here. Hopefully that's right. Cool. And then it says, it hasn't told us to put it on there, but it's got these blue things on here, so I'm going to put them on now. These must be the orangutan arms. Tia, how do we go finding orangutan?
So this is how they walk, and this is how it goes.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so they've got the long arms. They're sort of, yeah, they've got some really long arms, don't they?
So I've noticed their arms and like their legs sort of move in a unison almost.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
But like they put their, their left hand or left arm like in between.
I wonder if this
the
toy,
gap of their legs.
Yeah, I wonder if this toy is going to do it. Maybe it's not orangutans walking. Maybe it's orangutans that are like
Jumping?
What's the next level above walking?
Skipping?
It's like,
Not skipping.
yeah.
I'm
I'm
sure
thinking of a
if
horse
orangutans
like
can skip.
cantering.
What?
Do orangutans canter?
Gallop?
Can someone let us know in the comments? Gallop? That sounds like
Galloping?
probably too fast. I don't know. What's between not running
Stride?
and walking?
I don't know.
Striding? Maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Please,
I'm not-
orangutan
I'm
experts,
not an
let us know in the
aficionado
comments.
of walking.
What do you, yeah, orangutan or walking experts? What do you call between walking and running? What is that?
Fast walking.
Fast walking, power
walking.
power walking. Let's see if we can find an orangutan power walking. Maybe we'll go with that.
Let's find out.
Okay. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get these blue things on. It's pretty awkward. Oh, I got one side on, but the other side's being a bit difficult. And I think this is a critically important bit, because if we don't have these blue bits on, oh, there we go. I don't think it's going to work.
Okay, well, from what I can tell, I think it's just up to the orangutan, because sometimes they can do the two legs and then push themselves forward.
That's what I'm thinking. All right, that's what I reckon
Yes.
this thing will do. Because you look at this picture here,
Yes.
zoom in onto this one, you can see it's got.
Yes.
Here you go.
Your two like
So
arms
that's-
almost out.
Yeah, that'd be like, and that's like that bit's like, I guess their knuckles.
So it's imitating them, like.
Which I imagine, yeah, like it
Pulling
switches
themselves
and it
forward.
like rotates forward. That's what I reckon. But
But I think that's still considered like walking for an orangutan. I think it just depends on how fast they want to go. I think that's
Yeah,
still
okay.
their walk though.
like, how many bananas are nearby?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do orangutans eat bananas? I don't know. I'm not an orangutan expert. All right, should we should announce another award?
Yes.
I reckon. All right, cool. Let's shift it over. So I think what's cool about the Prime Minister's Prizes for Science is that they also recognise the important contributions of teachers and educators, and so they give out an award to excellence in science teaching in primary schools and excellence in science teaching in secondary schools. So I reckon let's go for announcing the 2023 Prime Minister's Prize for Excellence in Science Teaching in Primary School goes to Mrs. Judith Stutchberry, woo! Who I believe is a teacher in Gladstone from memory. Kalki State School, which is 8 kilometres away from the Great Barrier Reef's Mon Repos Beach. So Mrs. Stutchberry is being recognised for educating students about the importance of marine conservation and how their actions will make a difference. So the beach that they're near has the greatest number of loggerhead sea turtles nesting in the South Pacific region, and the beach is critical to the survival of that species. She has a number of initiatives, including the Science Together Convention, which it hosts 400 students, teachers, and community members for National Science Week, and also is the author of the educational book Hatch Saves the Reef, encouraging students to learn about marine turtles and the impact of climate change. Furthermore, that book has actually been adapted to a screenplay called Hatch, following a young sea turtle facing obstacles like artificial light pollution, coral bleaching, and plastic pollution. So, bit of a polymath. It sounds like getting into the creative space while also teaching science and finding that sort of unique connection to pop culture and the environment. I think that's pretty cool. All right. So it's telling me now that I have to cut the red wire for some reason. I'm not sure why they didn't like just give me a short red wire, but you know, we're scientists. We can figure this out. I'm gonna need to get some tools here, and Tia's done an amazing job of making underneath this desk way more organised, which I thank her dearly. Thank you, Tia.
No worries.
Look at this. Look at that. Hell yeah, on
You got
demand.
stuff now.
On demand,
You can
snippy
do things
tools.
now.
Snippy tools on demand. Okay. So it says to cut off the red wire by 2/3 of its length, and hopefully, you know, I don't make a mistake, because like once I cut, I can't uncut. So I'm going to be a little bit less. I'm going to go here. I'm hoping that's. I'm going to. Here we go. Okay, we cut that off. That's good. Hopefully we haven't wrecked the toy by doing so. And I think I'm going to try and get rid of some of this like red cabling somewhat. So I'm just going to like see if I can somehow just cut the red casing without cutting the wire underneath. I don't know if that's going to work, but will it allow me to pop it off? I need to cut it more. All right, while I do this, let us know, what do you think? Do you reckon this new format that we're testing out of having some interesting science in between a science toy unboxing, is it good? Are you enjoying it? Are you learning something? Because I know I definitely am. Let us know in the comments, I'd love to know. Ah, here we go, check that out. Woo. Check that out, yo. Here, I'm gonna bring it up nice and close. So I got the come focus in? Is he going to focus in for me? Oh, there we go. Yep. So I've cut off the little red casing, and now I've got the nice cabling exposed, which I think you need to then be able to plug in everything. All right, so we've done that one. Now it's saying the red wire is connected to the end of the switch. So I think we're just going to pick any side. I'm going to go with this side, and I think it pops this bit inside.
Just a time check. Can you have 9 minutes left?
9 minutes?
8 minutes, actually.
Oh my god. Okay. 8 minutes. Okay.
Sorry, 8 minutes.
We're gonna need to get cracking soon.
Yep.
All right. I think we're almost there. I think okay. We need to announce the other prize. So I reckon we should announce the Prime Minister's Prize for Excellence in Science Teaching in Secondary Schools. Let's check that out. Drum roll. The 2023 award goes to Miss Donna Buckley from John Curtin College of the Arts. And she's been recognised for inspiring students with diverse creative backgrounds to apply mathematics to real-world problems and introducing them to careers in science. Now, I think that last piece is pretty important. I know when I was thinking about getting into science, I didn't really know what type of scientist I wanted to be. And that has actually changed over time for me as well. I was a cancer researcher, and now I guess I'm a science communicator / creative designer. I don't know what you really call myself, Tia.
All of the above.
I'm having an identity crisis. I don't know.
All of the above.
But science is the most important part that connects all of it. But Mrs. Buckley created an accredited cybersecurity course in Western Australia to educate students about ways to make our country more safe and secure in an online environment. Some other initiatives include a maths talent quest, which encourages students to think creatively about maths, and has also launched a project on sustainable travel for Year 8 students, and a project for Year 9 students to explore science using Indigenous art. Now, I definitely relate to this, having done some cool science art projects. Donna continues to encourage students to think creatively about maths and consider future opportunities in STEM, championing professional development, and has impacted the way teachers in Western Australia approach STEM education. Big applause, big applause. All right, cool, quick, moving on, quick. We've got, what, 6 minutes?
Okay. 7.
7 minutes, okay, cool.
Make that 6.
Okay, make it 6, okay.
Make it 6. I just read numbers and figured out it was 6 minutes left.
Okay. So now it's telling me something about the... Wait, what? Okay. Red wire is connected to the end of this red. I think we actually need to use this red piece of wire. So I'm hoping I actually didn't cut it short, because now I might have like stuffed up what we need to do.
Oh no, epic fail. It should have told you if you needed it later.
I know. I thought it was like, why am I cutting it? I'm just getting rid of it.
Should have
like,
informed you. Keep
yeah,
your
I know. It's like I was trying to be conservative, and now I might have actually like I might have like put myself in trouble here. Because I think this bit here is supposed to connect on one side. So let me peel this bit off. I think I need this bit exposed too. Because I think one bit's got to go from the top thing here, and it's got to connect into the black battery pack or something. I think we're going to blow out our 30 minutes today. I'm being too excited by
How dare you?
the science prizes. Oh, okay. So I think here you'll see there's these, if we zoom in closely, there's these little, so this is the motor, the yellow bit, and there's these two little, I probably can't really see it there. Yeah, there we go. These little circle bits. I think you're going to connect one to there and then one to here. And I think I may have just given me enough space to do it, if I'm assuming that that's correct. All right, I think that's good. And then it's, okay, so the black wire connects to the other one. So why have they given us such long black wire? Now I'm confused, because like, we cut that one and we're running out of wire on this one, and we cut this one and we're running out of space. All right, cool. I'm gonna go with that. All right. Should we announce one more prize? What do you reckon? One more prize? Who do you reckon? Who do you want to hear, Tia? Should we announce the prize for new innovators, the Frank Frenner Prize for Life Scientist of the Year, the Malcolm McIntosh Prize for Physical Scientist of the Year? Yeah, one of those three. Life Scientist, Physical Scientist, or New Innovator. What do you reckon?
The first one, innovation.
The innovation? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
I think so.
For those who are playing at home, we are the innovation team here at
Yes.
Street Sight. So
So
let's
it
go
resonated.
innovators. Yeah. Okay.
Sounds relevant to me.
Woo! Okay, drum roll. Brrr. The 2023 prize for new innovators goes to Associate Professor Lara Herrero. Woo! Cool, check that out. Lara is from Griffith University and has a unique combination of scientific, clinical, and public health training, drawing on this to impact the way we diagnose, treat, and manage viral infections. So it looks like her research is largely around Ross River virus, which she actually contracted herself and suffered from excruciating pain to her muscles and joints for 2 years. So Ross River virus is the most common mosquito-transmitted disease in Australia, with more than 5,000 infections reported each year. So she's been focusing on Ross River, particularly those associated with arthritis. And in less than 10 years, she's translated her research into a world-first drug with the potential to treat these diseases in humans with long-term debilitating symptoms. And what's cool about it is she used the approach of drug repurposing. Now, if you've never heard of what drug repurposing is, it's essentially when you take an existing drug that is either for a different condition or maybe it never quite got into approvals because it wasn't effective, but it's a drug that we've developed nonetheless, and maybe it's proved to be safe in humans, but it didn't really work well for the original disease it was made for. But then we sometimes take those drugs that are no longer being used, and then we can apply them to other diseases to see if they work. And sometimes, if you're lucky, you do find one that can translate and move it across. And this is an example of what she has done. And what's cool about that is that it really speeds up that clinical pipeline. So, Tia, do you know how long it takes to create a human drug these days?
Absolutely not.
You want to take a guess? On average.
3 months.
3 months. Okay. Let me rephrase that. How long would it take to create a drug from the idea?
Scratch.
From the idea to
Yep.
doing the research, to
Mhm.
doing the clinical trials, and then getting it
Oh
approved
gosh, that's
for
probably
use
like
in humans.
years.
Yeah. Take a guess how many years is the average.
3 years.
So on average, it takes 11 years from
Wow.
the initial start all the way to the completion. And the reason for that is that you've actually got different phases. So usually it's like the bench scientists that sort of come up with the idea. They sort of initially think of, what is the approach that we're going to do. Then they might need to do some experiments in cells. And then once those experiments work, then you might move to animal studies and then eventually move into human trials. But between there, you then need to figure out how to create the drug and test the drug to see if it can be formulated. Sometimes we get a drug that's effective up until the point of drug formulation, but then it fails at drug formulation because, for whatever reason, we can't get the chemicals into the body, either through a tablet or through injection, or if we can get it into the body, it's just too expensive to be able to do it, so sometimes drugs fail there. But if that proves good, then we'll start testing in humans, and sometimes those trials can take, we actually do like 4 phases often of them. So, first phase is like a trial of, maybe like 10 people, just making sure it doesn't harm the person. Then the second phase is testing out the initial efficacy. Third phase, doing it in larger numbers, making sure that we're not getting any small confounding effects. And then sometimes there might be an additional 4th phase, which is like super large scale, hundreds to thousands of
I have a
of trials.
question. There are laboratories that do use mice for testing,
Yep.
if I'm correct. Do these mice get tested for these drugs as well?
Yeah, so usually that's before the human testing. At
Right,
this
yep.
stage, most drugs do go through animal testing in some
Yes.
capacity. It's
Yes.
usually mice, but not always. There can be other animals depending on what it might be.
Right.
But interestingly, as a field, we're trying to figure out ways of how we could do the research without using animals as well. So
Of
there's
course.
some interesting stuff that's happening in that space. But after you've actually then tested a drug in lots of humans and you've made it sure it works, then you need to go through the drug regulatory approval process. So then that goes to the FDA or the TGA here in Australia. So then it becomes on the market And then often, sometimes, depending on the country, will then go through another phase as to whether it's subsidised by the government or not. So that would be the PBAC scheme here in Australia, or the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, something like that. But yeah, 11 years. So if you can drug repurpose, you can basically cut out up to 7 or 8 years of that process to get straight to, the drug is safe, and then you can just test it.
You would have research from that drug from its previous use.
Exactly, and that's the power of drug repurposing, which is pretty awesome.
I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm no scientist, but I don't see why not.
Yeah. So it sounds like the drug that Professor Herrera has created has now been successfully commercialized, and it's being available through an exclusive royalty-bearing license between Griffith University and the ASX-listed biotechnology company Paradigm Biopharmaceuticals. So I think that drug probably in that sort of clinical phase, I imagine, of testing out the efficacy at a larger scale. So with that, I presume we've busted past the 30 minutes.
Most definitely so.
What are we up to?
We're sort of at 35 minutes.
35 minutes, okay.
Technically.
Cool. Okay, all right. Well, let's finish off this little bit. This black wire, I was supposed to connect to the motor. I just had this connected. It fell out. Maybe I got too excited by talking about clinical trials. Okay. Here we go. Stick that in there. I need to bend this somehow so it doesn't flip out again. This is not quite working the way. Oh, here we go. All right, I think that should be good enough. All right, last step. I think it's just putting on the arms, which is on the screw of the side. So I think we've got the blue things here. We're just going to put these little connecties in here before this lid pops off again. Oh, that's looking pretty good. What do you reckon? Check that out. Whew. Okay, so the problem, does anyone see a problem with this at the moment? Maybe get the zoom in. When this goes on the ground, it's just going to get the wire. So I need to somehow figure out how can I put this up here where it doesn't touch. Maybe I can flick it over. Actually, I'm going to put the battery in, and hopefully it... Oh, wait. Does anyone see another problem here? Check this out.
Oh, no.
We got the wrong battery.
Oh,
we got the wrong battery. Okay, hold up there.
All right.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought.
Pause.
I'm going to go get a battery, quick.
10 seconds later.
All right. Here we go. Okay, I got it. All right, this one's the right battery. Okay, here we go. Let's throw him in here. Should we try again? Here we go.
Yes, please.
Way!
Oh, look at that!
Woo!
Oh my gosh!
Wait, stop!
That's
He's
so
gonna go! Let's do that one again. Here we go.
All right, go.
Wait! Wait!
Oh,
Oh no!
that's so
Oh no!
cool.
Oh, he corrects himself as well. Oh, he's going the other way.
Well, it's just like one rotation. Oh no,
I wrecked him again.
He's
He popped out.
crashed.
Oh no.
He's crashed. He's died.
All right, we'll fix that
That's
up.
like
All
an
right.
actual orangutan. It's got a mind of its own.
That's funny. All right. Well, we've
that's
got it
awesome.
done. We still got it done.
did it.
How long were we over?
Oh, like nearly
45
20 minutes.
20 minutes. We were announcing a lot of fun
No,
stuff,
I know.
So it
Yeah.
was worth it. It was worth
It's
it.
a lengthy one, but
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Cool.
sure it trims down to be way quicker. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for attending another episode of Study with Street Science, episode number 8. Now, if you've made it this far, you guys are the super fans, and we thought maybe we'll give you something exclusive since you made it this far. Last week, you might have mentioned, I think we mentioned, and you might remember, that we talked about our virtual vacation care program that we're about to launch. So we've been having some fun this week, creating some cool little videos, and we thought we'd share one of our most fun videos that we created. So we're going to leave you with a sneak peek of that video. And if you're interested in the virtual vacation care program offering, let us know in the comments. We'll get back to you. We will see you next time for some seriously fun science. Enjoy!
Psst, come over here. Hey, I've got my Azuka. I'm gonna go sneak up on Ken and I finally get to prank him. He always gets me. Come on, help out. It's this way. Shh. His desk is round this corner. Let's get him. Oh no, this is the weird. Ken, what's going on?
You're toast!
Not cool, man. It was finally my chance. You take this. I'm going to get lunch.
If you want to build one of these for yourself, then join our virtual vacation care program. It's going to be some seriously fun science. Yeah!